Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever one applies to you. I know Happy Wednesday applies to you. It is a hump day, so welcome to your weekly Wisdom Wednesday here inside the Coaches and Healers Sangha. My name is Emily Harrison. I am the founder and director of the Akashic Academy, and right now I'm hanging out with just you replay viewers. So hi, replay viewers. Here's a little special treat for you. Little secret time. Think about the goals you want to manifest this week and allow the sound of this bowl, hopefully you can hear it through my mic there, carrying those into the physical realm for you. Welcome once again. Please say hello to me when you get here. Again, my name is Emily Harrison. I'm the founder and director of the Akashic Academy, as well as a mentor to other lightworkers in the realm of the Akashic Records. This is an access point of infinite cosmic wisdom that has so many applications. It's really fun for me to show up in this space and share with some of my favorite people on the planet, like Miss Nancy Louise, who is here. But spiritual entrepreneurs, you guys have heard me say it before, I love me some writers. I love me some spiritual entrepreneurs. It is so fun and magical and fulfilling and exciting and motivating to align the pieces of your life where your creative self marries with your entrepreneurial self, your job. And I, for a very long time in my life, was a person who was employed by other people. And now I am not. Now I am somebody who has created my own job based on my passions, my gifts, my skills, my abilities, how I want to show up and serve. And it has put me into a space of flow, expansion, being able to share that journey with others, get them excited and going as well. And I'm excited to share that with you today. I know, Miss Nancy, Facebook not sending the alerts, but you did a quick search to find me. Sometimes Facebook does that. Eventually, maybe a couple people will join us here. Otherwise, it's just me and you, Nance. Maybe we should sing some karaoke or something. But I know that you have been tuning in to the breath retreat this week, and I know that you've been finding some expansion. I also noticed, Nance, and I love that you mentioned this, that you found yourself dynamically stronger on day 2. So how quickly that strength begins to build in us. The flow state, I'm recognizing, is just other language for what it means to be in that space of expansion. When we move into the Akashic Records, we are most definitely in flow state. And my favorite part about this retreat, Cindy is here, has not only been sharing the exercises, this new way of changing our chemistry so that we enter flow state. I really like that part. But my favorite part is the application of how I show up and help people, which is to really be a guide into asking the questions that are going to unlock the magic in your life so that you can bring this idea of flow everywhere you walk, all the directions of your life, whether you're talking your business, your relationships, your health, your spiritual journey, whatever is important to you. I know, like I said, in this side of this space right here, we are focusing on our entrepreneurship, which may actually be a word or may need to go in my made-up word glossary. I'm not 100% sure. Nancy said yes, and I got smart about raising my feet and dancing my feet and legs so your legs weren't cramping. Good girl. Good morning, Kathy Hoymeyer. I'm glad that you're here inside of this space. We are going to continue with this idea of the questioning when we are in that flow state. Now, I'm not going to go through the breath work today that we're doing in the breath retreat, but I will take us quickly into our Akashic Records. So there is not only the collection of energy of everyone who has ever done this ceremony into the Akashic Records this way, there is a powerful collective space that is built. But when we take that time to alter our consciousness, our energy, the way that I take people into the records, there is a powerful and dynamic shift that happens as well. So I am loving, loving, loving adding the physical element to it. I'm looking forward to a re-record of my class soon where I will be integrating a lot of this stuff. So I want to take us into our records quickly, and I want to ask the question, what's standing in the way of our creative flow? I will guide us through the process of entering into that space and through those questions. And then I will also open up the floor to any other questions that are coming in for this week. And let's get started, shall we? Sit up nice and straight, drink your water. Both feet on the ground. Nice alignment of that central column, opening those gateways to the infinite, breathing in and exhaling, clearing out that crystalline tube of light, sending it down into Mother Earth, all the way down, through the crust, through the roots. Whew, even as I say it, my body lights up. My energy lights up. My consciousness loves this trip. Down into the crystalline caves, into the underground waters, anchoring deep into the belly, the womb, the core of Mother Earth. Feeling yourself, the oneness with that Mother Earth energy, that fully self-realized energy. Honoring your soul contract with Mother Earth at this time. Being born of her fully realized planetary embodiment, full of infinite resource. This beautiful playground. Honoring the love, the compassion that we experience through the duality here on this plane, but boy, do we get to experience that love and compassion and expansion, bringing that knowledge of who we are with us back up. And as we rise back up through that crystalline tube with this awareness, we fully activate with all that Mother Earth has to offer. So moving through her underground waters, becoming activated as we move through the crystalline realms, activating with the medicinal qualities and knowledge of the roots, activating with the energy of our ancestors, and moving that energy back into our body, into the feet, the ankles, the lower legs, the knees, the upper legs, bringing up the hips, the torso, the trunk, the back, all the way up into the shoulders, melting down the upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingertips. With those activated hands, ushering the energy over the top of your head, melting down around the front of the face, into the heart space. Breathe that energy up from Mother Earth. Calling it into the physical structures of the body, into the bones, into the organs, into the skin, into the eyes, into the hair. Woo, I feel it. Good work, you guys. Keep it up. Oh, this is big today. Call it up again. Into the liquid aspects of of your body. This is all of the emotional energy within you. So we are illuminating now the spinal fluid, your sexual fluids, the saliva, the cerebral fluid, the fluid in your eye sockets. Good. Call up another big bundle of that Mother Earth energy. Usher it up with your hands if you want. Calling it into the electrical systems of the body, into the neurons of the heart and the mind, opening up expanded gateways of thought. Calling up another deep breath. Call it into the light body, into the chakras. Activating the Merkaba, the toroidal field, setting those at a higher frequency. One more nice deep breath in, calling this into your plasmic body, expanding your skills of astral travel, of dimensional understanding and multidimensional existence. Good. Let's bring the Akash energy now into this beautiful cauldron. See, your physical body is becoming this vessel for this energy that we're conjuring up. Sending that crystalline tube out the top of your head, all the way up through the layers of space and time, exiting the universe, exiting the multiverse, anchoring into source, Akash, ether. Expanding, stabilizing in this space, being activated by your unique frequency, illuminated at its highest essence, from the perspective of unconditional love and zero judgment, bringing down that knowledge of yourself through the layers of space and time, entering in through the upper chakras, anchors in at the soul star, harmonizing, spiraling down through the crown, through the third eye, through the fourth eye, through the throat, through your ascended heart, through the heart, solar plexus, through the sacral, through the root, down at your feet, through the earth star chakra, anchoring into crystalline core center of Mother Earth, breathing. With this exhale, locating yourself, your consciousness, all in the space of the heart, expanding through the toroidal field. The Merkaba fully activated and spinning, creating that friction for you as those pyramids spin in opposite directions. Moving into the space of the records with this Om. I want you to, if this is the first time you're doing it, here's how it goes. You repeat after me and then we Om together. With this Om, I relax my body. With this Om, I relax my mind. With this Om, I release my ego. With this Om, I call in the light. With this Om, I open the Akashic Records of Emily Suzanne Harrison. And you say your name if this is the first time you're doing it. The records are now open. So just take a moment and tune in, everybody. Notice the shifts that you're experiencing. I felt a lot of palpable energy moving today. So we got some strong people on the call here doing this with us. Stephanie Lynn and Christy. Oh, I love that Nancy said post your business questions now. Okay, anytime you guys want to go ahead and type those in, anything that's coming up for you for this week, feel free to type it in. I'll bring you in the insight that comes in from me. But all of our records are open this week if you've gone through the ceremony with me. So I want to invite you to recognize the insight that's coming in for you, because when you alter your consciousness, you alter your brainwaves, you alter your dimensional access of space and time in this way with me and my students and everybody here, whether you are a student or not, you have access to all information, forward, backward, every incarnation of yourself, from the perspective of unconditional love and zero judgment. So let me guide you on some questions. I would advise you writing this down. You, of course, can do whatever you want because you're big girls and boys in here, most of you, hopefully, because I say dirty words every now and then. There's no nudity or anything like that. Every now and then. I'd get bleeped if I were on network TV. I got to be on Showtime or something like that. All right. Closing your eyes, take a nice deep breath in. Exhaling through the heart space. I want you to ask the question and trust the answers that you're receiving. I'm going to be holding space for clarity for each one of you. What is the number one thing that stands in the way of or restricts, if you're feeling like you're pretty in the creative flow, that stands in your way or restricts your creative flow? And just allow yourself to receive knowing and understanding about your own patterns, your own subconscious beliefs. I know when I first started doing this work, I had a lot of lack that came up for me. I was pretty stingy with my time. You had to get on my schedule if you wanted to talk to me, and you better not expect a free reading either. I went through a bit of an indignant stage because I had swung too far the other way, and I choked myself on my own cord. But I had, literally. I had given too much, and I had exhausted my energetic resources, and I wasn't in reciprocity for what I was getting back. And so and that's kind of my way of learning. Like, I swing way far one way, and then I learn the other, and then I shift back into a balance. I'm like a pendulum. Perhaps many of you guys can relate. As I've dove in more deeply into my own practice, I've gotten much better at seeing my patterns long before they create disruption, and being able to shift back to a more calm, positive, neutral state, something that serves me better. But in the beginning, I had difficulty with this, and it really showed up with my time. And I'll tell you guys a funny story. I was really stingy about my time. And this was before I was working with Coach Nick. And I had just released a video that I thought was really damn good, man. And all of a sudden I get a message from my friend Nick, this spiritual business coach guy, who says, "Hey, can I talk to you about your marketing?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? You didn't like my video? This is a good video." So I'm like, "Fine, what?" Not really like that. I'm like, "Sure." But in my heart and mind, I was a little perturbed. And he's like, "Oh, can we jump on a call real fast? I want to share just some insight with you." And I was like, "The fuck? You have to schedule an appointment if you want to talk to me." "Fine." And I answered him back fine. And I got on the call with him, and I'm really glad that I did. But I was very resistant because I recognized that there was a part of me that had given so much that unless you blocked out time where I felt I was rested and can show up for you, man, it was just a clusterfuck. I'm sure you guys have worked through your own issues like that. I found this lack mentality bleeding over into other areas of what I was trying to create, what I was producing, how I was showing up in my family life, my personal life, which is, I guess, the same thing. So for me, one thing that was standing in the way of my creative flow when I was first starting my entrepreneurial journey was this lack mentality that was coming up, really not valuing my time and believing in what I was doing, and finding that flexibility, and like I hadn't found the flow because I was scared about just how all of the things that we go through. So then I was like, okay, move back into a state of flow, be more present. And I needed to make those adjustments on my time, on how I valued myself, how I looked at my whole process, and how I could show up for people, and how I could actually schedule and reorganize my time and my week more efficiently, so I felt more dynamic when I was showing up. Maybe you edit yourself too much. So what stands in the way of your creative flow? And allow yourself to receive that knowing. Play the bowl for clarity and prettiness. My neighbor's dog heard the bell, and they're barking. I know my dogs are barking too. Good work. I hope you guys have written down some helpful insights there on your paper. And hi, Anna, I see you're joining us. I know that when those of you guys who are hanging out in, or I should say, those of you guys, whatever, let me just back up a couple of beats. Those of you guys who are hanging out in the breath retreat know that we are taking this questioning further in that space. I want to shift our questioning to address some of the business questions that are coming in. But like I said, those of you who are joining the breath retreat know, and you feel free to apply those other questions that you're learning to help understand these patterns a little more dynamically, that when we begin to dive in and ask the right questions, we unlock magical knowing about ourselves that becomes very, very, very easy to shift. Some easier than others. I will admit, not everything is that. Not everything is 3 easies. Some's only 1 easy. But this is definitely possible when we learn how to navigate within the space of the records. And this is one area, actually, where I've adjusted quite a bit. In the beginning, I was very guarded of this process. I'm like, I'm not taking everybody into the records. They have to pay for a session if they want to go into the records. What I've come to realize is this presents a beautiful value and opportunity for people to upgrade. And where people actually experience my expertise is when I show you around and I show you what you can do in this space. It is such a vast room. It's like, okay, I'm totally into Project Runway lately. I'm not a designer. However, I did make napkin wedding dresses for my Barbie dolls when I was a child, and I loved it. So I'm sure I have past life as a seamstress. I get really excited about watching Project Runway, but they take them into this room called it's basically like a storeroom where there's all kinds of fabric and accessories and all kinds of stuff they can use. But if you want a seamstress like my ass, you'd be lost in there. That's kind of how it is with the Akashic Records. So I recognize that while I show everybody this amazing, beautiful, inspiring space, your ass gonna be lost unless you know how to use the shit that's in there. So I'm not worried about it anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna tune back into the questions here. Oh, Nancy says, as I opened my records today, I felt this cool energy pouring into my body. You're so synchronous, lady. We're going to be doing a little new exercise today in the breath retreat that's going to be ushering that energy in. You're feeling it already. Kathy says, oming with my sourdough bread, going to be a great loaf, raising the vibe. Ooh, homemade sourdough bread is special. It is like a portal to another world. I love it. Nancy, one of my big concerns about launching my show is my direct honesty. I feel I need a partner for more than one reasons to help lighten the energy at times. Any information on this appreciated? Ooh, I like a partner vibe always. It's very fun to play off of a partner. Direct honesty. That's an interesting one. Nancy, I'm going to talk about that later too. People who just speak their minds. I speak my mind. Here's the thing for you, Nance. And I appreciate your awareness about it, but I honor also the work that you have done. And I think that you, as I explain this, hopefully you receive and get those aha moments. I think you've done enough work that is raising your energy high enough up through the crystalline tube that you're not stuck in that subconscious space where you're speaking your mind that hasn't been filtered, first of all, because you're learning how to require higher thought. So the thoughts that are coming into your mind are higher vibrational frequency anyway, okay? It's going to be really important for you to continue to do the work because you will want to hold yourself at a high bar. Because you want to make sure that the stuff that does fly out of your mouth, the direct honesty, is it helpful? Is it loving? Those 4 things that they say. Is now the right time? There's one other one. Is it kind? So keep those 4 things in mind. Keep your practice in mind because that will help naturally whatever is blasting out of you to be of a higher frequency. But that candid nature, and just be aware. And again, they're saying this just to bring your awareness to it because I feel like you've acquired enough skills that as soon as you have awareness, you're like, okay, got it, good. Don't let fear of being candid stop you from being 100% yourself, because that's good. That's a really cool aspect of it. You will put your foot in your mouth at times. You're going to have to be candid about what it looks like when you put your foot in your mouth, or you have to say, I'm sorry. Those are all great lessons for everybody to learn what that looks like, to say, I'm sorry in a nice way. So that will be part of your process. Don't look at that as like, and this is for everybody. Like when you go forward and present yourself in a bigger way, you're going to have tendencies to really judge yourself and your process. And you're going to need to be able to have the skills to do that to refine yourself, but in a non-judgmental kind of way, and realize you're not going to be perfect right off the bat. And there are going to be a lot of things that you wish that you could have done differently and better. It's just like a performer always reviewing their performance. I do see a partner for you, Nancy, but it might not look like exactly what you think it looks like. It might look more like guests. That's what I'm feeling. Definitely feeling the dual energy, but I'm feeling that I'm feeling some frustration that comes up when you have a partner in the traditional sense. Okay. Where did those 4 things come from? They come from the Dalai Lama, how the Dalai Lama filters his own damn mouth. Okay. Anna says, can I get access to the breath retreat on replay? Yes, you can. That's a great question. Yes, you can. I'm just scrolling through, making sure that I got everybody's questions. Any other questions for your biz or for your week coming up? We are nearing our end of time today. Oh, and we do have to close up the records, by the way. You don't have to. Now, if you don't close up the records, what happens is they're like a blooming flower, and they naturally nicely close. But this is very high frequency energy, very high intensity energy. So one of the things that I really teach my students is being responsible in this level of practice. So we will close up right now. I am feeling inspired to just give one more piece of wisdom before we go. Do you guys want me to flip open? You want A or B? Just say A or B. You're either going to get a wisdom from the Tao Te Ching, or you're going to get a card, but you got to pick A or B. First one I see comes up is the winner. Oh, come on, people. How long does it take to type A or B? Maybe it's my computer not getting it in time. B, Nancy. Oh, Christy said A. Okay. Christy wins. But Nancy, you know I love you. Nancy rocked my world so much yesterday in class as my student, by the way, was my mentor and teacher. I had to give her a big fat virtual kiss right in class. So you know I love you, Nancy, but Christy wins. Okay. From the Tao Te Ching, may you receive this, may everyone receive this, whether you're watching now with us live or on the replay, with your Akashic Records open, and allow it to illuminate an awareness in you in a more dynamic and realized way. Okay? This comes from the 33rd verse of the Tao Te Ching. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. If you realize that you have enough, you are truly rich. If you stay in the center and embrace death with your whole heart, you will endure forever. So be it, and so it is. Giving thanks for all knowledge, all wisdom, all activation received within this space, and acknowledging the frequency of oneness, and with one final Om, closing our Akashic Records. The records are now closed. Woo! I hope you guys are on the Emily train for the rest of the day, stop in and see me. You know, this is only my first stop of the day. I hang out next in intuitive development, which I'm really excited about. I'm going to share some of the personal insights and aha moments that have come to me that I have recognized my own process and just the puzzle pieces is dropping in. I'm very excited because we're talking about death, rebirth, death, life, and rebirth this month inside the Academy. And man, some big light bulbs went off for me that I'm super excited to share. And then, of course, Akashic Answers with Emily on the Akashic Academy public Facebook page, also known as our network. And then the breath retreat tonight. So come on, keep hanging out. We got a big day, big day. Oh, and then I hang with my students, our mastermind again tonight. So darn good thing I'm in the flow because I got a big day. And I'm going to the DMV in there. Are you guys proud of me? All right, I'll see you soon. You don't have to go to the DMV with me, I promise. I'm not that kind of friend to ask you to go to the DMV.